Oh, boy. Did you see this? We had a baby Malice in the Palace on a random Sunday night, boy. Begun by, somehow, some way, LeBron James. World-class cheap shot. So I was sitting on the couch, just chilling. I look up, and I'm like, is that man bleeding from his face? What is going on? Hold on. Rewind. What is happening? The kerfuffle. I literally looked up eating dinner, and the kerfuffle had already begun. So here is what my rewind, my DVR told me what happened. So Jeremy Grant, Detroit Pistons superstar, went to the line for a free throw in the third quarter of the game when the Pistons were inexplicably beating the Lakers. Had no business beating them. I think they were up like 12 or 15 at the time. Isaiah Stewart, big man for the Pistons, young gun, young blood. He's almost 7 feet tall, big, bruiser. Went to box out LeBron, and LeBron James boxed him out. All of a sudden, then you see Isaiah Stewart on the ground, slide, shoo. And then all of a sudden you look at Isaiah Stewart, he's rushing LeBron, he's pissed. You're like, wait, did I miss something? Because he's bleeding out of his face right now. Blood everywhere. It looked like he was in, like when you go to WWE and there's just like blood running down the Undertaker's face. It was like in this like cage match. That's what it was. I mean, I literally look up from having a little bite of my dinner, take a drink of the water, and Isaiah Stewart cannot be held back. Cannot be held up. And I just don't know if I've seen a player as angry as Isaiah Stewart maybe in my entire life. Like, I've never... The last time had to be in the Malice in the Palace. So the question is, what did LeBron do to make Isaiah Stewart so mad? What would possibly happen in order for a young guy so early on in the league to come after the number one player in our generation since Michael Jordan? Like, Kobe, Jordan, Braun, like, that's the pantheon we're talking about, and Isaiah Stewart is like, I do not care. I'm going to murder this guy. I am going to murder him. The dude had to be restrained 4 separate times. Dwayne Casey cut his finger holding Isaiah Stewart back. His finger had to get wrapped up. I mean, when we talk about the league being soft, like, it was not soft going on. Like, he was like Incredible Hulk, like getting broken from his chains. Like, he literally tried to find LeBron in the tunnel later on. So much to break down. So apparently, when LeBron James was boxing out, he literally took his elbow, wrist, hand down onto across Isaiah Stewart's eyebrow and lip. He's bleeding out of his mouth. There was like boom, boom. Bleeding out of his eye. Blood rushing down his face. It was one of those things where it was like, doesn't look that bad. And then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, holy fuck. That's a lot of blood. So much to break down. Where do I start? Well, first and foremost, I guess you have to talk about the Lakers announcers because it was sad. I know you see like Philadelphia 76ers announcers, they're biased. Boston Celtics announcers, oh yeah, they're biased. Knicks announcers, they're biased. Portland announcers, they're very biased. But I mean, come on, it's like Portland, they're very sad. But the Laker announcers just were like, don't know why Isaiah Stewart did that. That was just obviously an inadvertent elbow. They said inadvertent and accidental at least 10 times. Like, I don't know what happened. Do you see how mad Isaiah Stewart was? It was just very clearly an accident by LeBron James. Instead of being like, yo, this man clearly upon further evidence. It was so funny because they went to the slow-mo cam and they were like, as you can see here, this inadvertent... And they just stopped talking. Like, they knew they couldn't keep up with the bit. Like, they couldn't, because they knew it was bad. It was so bad. And the Pistons announcers, they've been through this before. They're OGs in this scuffle gang. This is what they said. They were like, I don't even want to see the chaos. This has happened before. They're like, hey, PA, Fans, stay in your seats, guys. Do not come onto the floor. Do not enter the floor. All fans, I repeat, all fans, stay in your seats. All fans, do not come onto the floor. Do not throw any objects at LeBron James. Don't do it, or you will be nabbed and sent to jail. Stay exactly where you are. That's not my interpretation. That was an exact quote. That's exactly what they said. This is a guy who you know has seen some shit. He saw Ben Wallace. He saw Ron Artest. He saw fans getting fucking mollywopped. He saw multiple game suspensions, money handed down, fines, jail time. Cameras everywhere, folks. It's a social media era. Listen, I was a freshman in college when Malice at the Palace happened. Facebook was still for college kids on campuses. Now, boy, we've got it all. We've got Instagram Live. We've got Instagram Stories. We've got TikTok. We've got Twitter. We've got everything. Cameras, this is worldwide, baby, in a flash. No need for news. No need for local KPTUV. Like, it is happening now. It was like maybe 40 seconds after it happened, and I saw like 15 angles globally. Like, I had a guy from Spain who had his own Spanish angle. I don't know how he got that, but like, oh yeah, that's a damning angle. Literally, you got dun 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 dun. You had like Law and Order literally interpreting how this whole thing went down. How funny was it though that the only person on the Lakers team that wanted any smoke, Russell Westbrook. He had his fists out. He was ready. He was smiling, foaming at the mouth, crazy eyes, looking like, you want this? Like, let's go. They literally panned over in the highlight replay, and it's like Russell Westbrook legit looked like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish logo. That was him. Unfazed by Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart's like 250 pounds, bleeding. I don't care. He's also unvaccinated. Unvaccinated, 6'8" monster bleeding from the face. And you're like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, let's go. Let's go. He's like that fireman running into the burning building. Everybody's like, napalm. And he's like, I don't care. I'm going to go in. I'm good. Like, I've seen some shit. And then they asked Russell Westbrook, they were like, hey, did you know that in the middle of all that, you got a technical foul? And he's like, who, me? No, I didn't get a technical foul. He's looking at the stat sheet like, what do you mean? This is what Russell Westbrook said.
What did the officials say that you were assessed a technical for? Who got a tech? You did. I got a tech? Oh, wow. Why'd I get a tech? I didn't know I had a tech.
He escalated. He did.
That's interesting. Well, this is being Russell, I guess. When you're Russell Westbrook, you just try to do anything, apparently. But whatever. I don't know why I don't know what I did, but whatever. You had to put on somebody. It's easy. Well, not me. Easy. Well, not me. Russ, have you been...
They literally, if you look on Twitter, they literally are showing a photo of Russ with his fists up like, why not me? Why you, Russ? Come on, Russ. Come on now, Russ. You know which. Maybe it was just fight or flight mode. Maybe he didn't even realize he did it. It's one of those things, like it's just a gut check, knee-jerk reaction. He's like, I had no idea that I immediately went into Muhammad Ali stance, and I went directly for the action. He held no one back. He literally did nothing to stop or prevent or slow the action down. And so then furthermore, when the dust settled, it gets even more delicious. Everyone was chiming in, of course. My man, Gilbert Arenas, had some things to say. He's had his share of kerfuffles, as folks know. No Chill Gil, as he calls himself online, a.k.a. Agent Zero, a.k.a. Guns in the Locker Room, Arenas. He had no fucking chill this morning discussing the events in question. This is what he said. He must have spent an hour, at least, putting together this IG post. He literally had to find everyone's tags. He literally tagged, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 people in this thing. You have to know. You don't just know people's tags, their handles offhand. You have to find he's putting hashtags in there. Anyway, People now using Gilbert Arenas' IG as news. Wild. What does it say, you may ask, that would precipitate news? This is it. At the Isaiah Stewart. Hey, first of all, he found his random rookie guy. Okay. Hey, brother, I'm going to just be real with you. Loud face, yelling emoji. Pack all your shit. All caps shit. Pack your winter jackets and your boots because yo ass is about to be traded to, parentheses, Budapest. Somewhere, crying emoji, crying emoji. I don't know what type of bumbaclot blood got in yo eye. Pause. Excuse me. That is, I don't know how. Sounds sort of racist. I'm not sure how, but I think it is. I'm not sure how. I think, is Isaiah Stewart from the Caribbean? I don't know, but it sounds kind of like that was a Caribbean slur. I'm not sure. But you can't charge at the hashtag king like that on TV 100. You will be drug tested, T.I. voice, expeditiously. Just to make sure that rage ain't drug related. Pause. Oh my God. We don't do that in the NBA. You probably haven't read the memo on fight attempts in the NBA. Number 1, don't square up with King James, easy money sniper, ever, 100. Them two light-skinned boys, Steph Curry or Klay Thompson on Golden State, either. Don't let your chest get puffy towards them or your ass is done. Halo emoji. Number 3, only 2 teams that's allowed to fist fight with any real penalties is wherever Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul is at. Crying face emoji. Number 4, wait till your teammates get around you, then act tough for the crowd. Sell it like WWE. Okay emoji, prayer face, prayer emoji. That's it. Good luck moving forward, my man. P.S. This was worse than the gun in the locker room situation. Crying face emoji. Some can say this was attempted murder. Hashtag attempted murder. Halo emoji. Crying face emoji. Only thing that can save you right now is MJ dropping episode 11 of Last Dance and he edits all Scottie Pippen scenes out, or Vanessa Bryant dropping Therma Mamba's last season. If you think I'm bullshitting, ask Enes Kanter 11. He got too close to the king back in 2016-2017, and the Turkish president has been trying to catch his ass ever since. Running emoji, probably running for his ass. Thinking emoji, smiling emoji, halo emoji. What a world class. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 handles. We've got like 40 emojis. We've got, I mean, it's a lot. We've got a lot. This is the internet, folks, at its finest. So then, of course, they're asking LeBron's teammates, like, what's up? What's up with this? They did form around, like, they circled the wagons around LeBron. Like, it was when, you see those Western movies, and they put the horse and carriage and buggies around all, save the women and children! That was LeBron James. LeBron James is the women and children of the NBA. Like, protect LeBron at all costs. He just stood there like, protect the king. Like, sire, we've got you covered. He looked at Isaiah Stewart like, you're not going to do a damn thing. I've got this entire arena behind me, even though I'm the one at fault. Can we just say, though, like, if this was Malik Monk, that this would just not have been, that any of this thing would have happened. Like, everybody like, dog, you did kind of get him in the elbow, though. He's bleeding a lot from his face right now. I don't know. I'm not trying to catch this tech. I already got 13 on the ear. Anthony Davis said that he was on the front lines defending Braun, but when in reality, as normal, he was on the side, basically watching Russell Westbrook do everything. Basically his entire career for this last 9 months. AD said everyone in the league knows LeBron is not a dirty guy. The moment that he realized he clocked Stewart, Braun was trying to apologize and said, my bad. No, he didn't. That's a lie. And then, of course, Anthony Davis came out and said, we're not promoting violence. I'm not promoting violence. Our security and their security, they did a hell of a job. He then pointed to his security guard as he left the press conference room for the shout-out. because Anthony Davis knows that he is currently in Detroit and wants everyone to know, hey, I am with someone who's strapped. Like, don't come for me. Don't come for me. You see him over there? Shout out to Javon and Trayvon and Bubba and John over there. They're protecting me. He also said this. We're here to protect our brother. I've never in 10 years seen a player try to do that as long as I've been playing. It's uncalled for. You've got a cut above your eye, accidental like, pause. The like, I feel, is operative. I feel the like is, it would be much more, I don't know, convincing if you just said accidental. Like, it's an accidental. No, accidental like kind of feels like it's sort of also purposeful like. You know what I mean? Like, it's not quite on purpose, not quite on an accident. And he said, we're going to not allow him to keep charging our brother like that. I don't know what he was trying to do, but we wasn't going to allow that. Okay, AD. AD's not the kind of guy you want in your foxhole, by the way. And, by the way, for folks who want to know how Isaiah Stewart has calmed down or whether he's calmed down, his only response so far has been to tweet out the date of the Pistons' next game against the Lakers, and it says Sunday, November 28th, and he made sure to tag LeBron James in said post. Must-see TV. Must-see. That's getting flexed to primetime. I can promise. This might be the Detroit Pistons' only nationally televised game. Like, that's the one. It's like, I could see ESPN, like, promoting this. Like, Isaiah Stewart down $950,000 for the exchange with LeBron. How will these two operate together on the court? I think it's crazy. Like, the wildest thing I think about this sequence is that you're now seeing a dog shit Lakers team use this as, or try to use this as, motivation. Like, we are now going to use this mediocre win with a scuffle as the reason that we're going to become, this is the turning point for us. This is the inflection point of our entire season, was when LeBron James elbowed that man Isaiah Stewart and he almost got his ass beat. They're now 9-9. Gross. Frank Vogel basically is saying the same thing. I mean, he's on the hot seat. So he's got to say something. He's got to provide cover that this is where things turn around. He's on the hot seat. He's checking his butt. So this is what he said. To me, this is one of those things that can turn the momentum of your season. Is it? That's the determination that this team is going to need. The sentiment, it appears, has spread like wildfire because many headlines are saying the same thing. Here are a few. Lakers complete wild comeback in Detroit to potentially turn around season. Can Fracas, I love that word. I can't even say it without laughing. Can Fracas sparked by LeBron James be turning point for Lakers? They'll have to prove it. But of course, I mean, let me be the voice of reason and just say, for folks who believe this fracas is the turning point, it will not be. It will absolutely not be. And I've got two reasons why. Two superstar-sized reasons. Anthony Davis and LeBron James.